We just went online, then you're starting, wait 30 seconds this time, switch that on, then you're good to go.
Radio Bright, you know,
Hello, Charlie. Good morning.
I've just got to get this team list up.
So you can just stream.
Okay, I'll stream something else. Yeah.
You know the numbers, mate.
Yeah. Let's go. Yeah.
So
One. So that's one more cup. 31. 2, Wayne Robinson. 3, Matt, some Greek name.
Matt.
Tie head, Matt.
No, Matt.
Yeah, Matt. Yeah. So Matt. I don't know. 4 Y secretary. 5, Danny Parks. 6, Brammy. I don't know your name. That's it there. Some crazy Samoan.
This one?
Yeah. Let's call him.
Fell out.
Voilà, Mike, good night. Boys. Yeah, that should be unlocked back.
Oh, he's doing that.
Mrs. Food,
From overseas, so it's
You can come around the side, and then you won't be able to see. I just haven't got enough cable, sorry. It's what I own. Yeah. So we get a chair and just sit here.
Yeah, bring it back.
Yep, that's what my mates do. Yeah, you should be good to go. I will check it now while it's going on. Just still the scoreboard off.
I'll be the scoreboard tonight.
I'm not operating. I've got to be on the roof. It's not like rugby park. There's no space there. So on YouTube. Matt, just so you know, I've got some film clips, but switching between them is tricky. I haven't got time to teach you, so same, and I'll take over as soon as the main game starts. That's why I won't the laptop up there. I can cut, but I can't. Welcome to NT Rugby, sorry. I can't help it. I've got some video clips to play at half time, so I'll just leave the camera and come down here. That's why the laptop up there, so I can run it, but it's just a problem here. I've got to get light, that's the only way I can do it. So I had 10 mates up here and Sydney to help. It's going to end up. We said we'll be alright when we get there.
because it reflects on us, we get warm. It's radio.
So,
Here we go. Good idea. We'll see the line out.
Sorry, I don't have the brilliant tech. This is not a good spot for it. Yeah. Normally we'll stick to the park, but it's just, we've got 2 leads to this bonus, I'm sure. I don't know the tower. I'll run for a bit on that. Do we just do do whatever you like. I've got half time, I'll come down and I'll put some we've got some filler videos and some interviews ready to go, but I need to operate laptops because I have some time teaching everyone. Yeah, this weekend's been absolutely mad.
Hang on. These little buggers move fast.
On behalf of South Darwin Rugby Union, we'd like to thank all our sponsors for their continued support of our club.
South on 3! 1, 2, 3, go!
Chris O'Leary, number 8. Philip O'Shea, tight head, prop.
Greg Summers, hydration man.
Peter Pauly, props, hooker, winger.
Off the field, definitely just going down to the pub, having a few drinks with everybody, learning their stories, learning where everyone comes from. Very diverse group here.
Billy Byrne does.
Mate, just the players, camaraderie against the players. They just everybody sticks together. They help each other, and the Marines come in a few games, which is really good. They've gelled in very good.
Most annoying, Peter Pauly, definitely.
That'll be definitely Watson and Cooker.
Peter Pauly.
That'd be Fraser, yeah.
A friend of mine was helping out with St Mary's Aussie Rules. We came across last year and gave him a hand.
Marston Maris, New Zealand.
Originally from California, the stateside.
Hey, from Marist, Whanganui, New Zealand. About a year and a half now. Started halfway through last year.
It's my second year.
It's my 4th season actually. It's been good.
I've been here since March time frame.
Is that showing me?
Well, it's the top two teams after the first round. When they meet the next time, it might be 5 or 6 weeks after the first round. Early in the year, it's a terrific initiative and a great concept, and it's something with other practices might soccer has a similar situation. I agree with you. I think it's a terrific. He just tells the kids team out there. What was they, the underage? Good to see now. Made the advantage for South to attack just in Pirates' we're going to have a shot on goal. We're up Pirates at the moment, 3-0, so South's player to it's 17, South Kiso, and he's going to have a shot on goal. To see Bruce supporting him a little bit, but he's ready to even score up. So who you know to the right-hand side. Pretty close, so I think that's quite a moving But the game evenly contested, as you would expect. South going into this game undefeated after 10 rounds of competition. And there they're running in for a lovely try, and that's been the fullback. As it would be, Setafano back down. I think he might be the reigning Johnson medalist. So we have to, I just got the nod of approval. He's the reigning Johnson medalist. put South in front. 5-3 to put the back.
Matt, somewhere down on the floor there is a little microphone control. Turn it up. Find the mic gain, turn it up a bit. Use my phone. I can hardly hear the commentators. There's about a minute delay.
Well, there's every reason to suggest that eventually they have the one to do is start to wear the front. This is what they did. After 9 years, they are underpaid sitting on top of the table. You would expect that South will go to that.
Just turn up a bit and leave it, there's nothing else you can do. It's about a minute's delay.
I watched the bit of the game as South made a break down the middle of the pack. I watched the bit of the game I saw Australia evening it up at 17-all, but of course Scotland towards the end of the game they got huge for points. Good as usual, good luck for the Saints. We've got the penalty, so the advantage wasn't acceptable in the police are going to bring the ball back. So and he's one of the guns for South, number 13, the inside centre, one of the Fiji connection, and along with Setafano Kakao. And the last time we saw South, Charlie, was against Palmerston, and I reckon he scored 4.
Okay.
Just a lazy.
So Evan made him stop back again. Evan, what have you made the game so far, and how's it going to go, do you think?
Well, look, as expected, I think Uni usually come out with a little bit more structure and they're looking to work from side to side. Basically, they form one line across the paddock and they'll attack from anywhere. So South will really have to be composed and not turn over the ball. It's usually turn over the ball from South to the Boston.
Gee, that's a deep kick down there as well. They put themselves in a pretty good position now, South. The first try came from them was a pretty good one, run in by Thakau. He's a good player.
Oh, definitely. He's got plenty of skills and he bamboozled a few of the defenders there. He threw a couple of dummies and in and away and in and out, and they didn't know where he was going.
Evan, we were talking a couple of weeks ago the difference between Kakao and Nabalawaka. Nabalawaka tends to run side to side, whereas Kakao just swerves through. He's a straighter runner than Nabalawaka.
Yeah, Leps is definitely a combative player. He likes the contact and he looks for the contact and he likes to be in tight, whereas Set is certainly seems to be a bit more graceful.
And that might reflect the way they do because he is a graceful runner.
So just the pink socks they're wearing here, they're recognising and supporting women, so it's Ladies' Day as well. Here's a chance for South to go in right over in that corner there. Hard run there by Billy Byrne. Didn't get over the line.
But yes, it's Ladies' Day here at South today, so that's the yellow pink socks in support of that.
So I didn't see what happened over there. What can you tell us?
The ball got ripped away over the try line and was being grounded by University. So it was 5 metres down to 7 centimetres, so we're quite lucky to get away with that.
Well, while they're setting this up, let's get your thoughts on the Wallabies loss today to Scotland 24-19. In the end, what did you take out of that?
Well, look, to tell you the truth, Charlie, at half time I had to flip channels over after seeing the performance the Wallabies were putting in. So, and then I was out here at the game, so they're actually just to hear that they're not. I'm not surprised. We just seem to get out committed, really. It seems to be, they just seem to go through the motions and expect to go win.
Here's the scrum, close to the line, and he did get out of trouble, kick under pressure. Didn't gain much ground, but did get it out of the danger area a bit.
So they've moved down to about 22 now, Charlie, so South is trying to set up for a line out here. I haven't been at something for the last week or so, so I'm not sure where they go here.
Going short, comes straight back out there into the hands of Crawley. And they're trying to run forward there, Philip O'Shea. Whistle goes, what's the referee doing?
Got a knock on
No Big Jack today. One of our favourite players, Big Jack Lawrence.
Oh, Big Jack Lawrence, yeah, a life member of the club. He's away at the moment. It's sort of this time of year for most clubs. We tend to have a struggling period. In the middle of the year, everyone's enthusiastic at the start of the season, and everyone's enthusiastic at the end, but then we get the dry season and so many things on. People just seem to disappear.
And by the same, almost by the same token, University welcome back Robbie Butcher, who is really their playmaker and number one player. He's back after a long absence.
Oh, look, Robbie makes a huge difference to any team that he plays in, not only University Park, certainly he's representing the BNT as well. He's got a vast experience and he knows what's just the team around the paddock.
Now, the Souths have a good relationship with the US Marines, don't they? Two playing out there, Philip O'Shea, and he's wearing number 3. And I think the other one is Rob Neves, and he might be wearing number. I'm not sure of his number, so we can work out what he is. But here's South with the kick and the run through by Thakau, who scored that try a short time ago. Turn it over, Uni get hold of them, they've lost it.
Yeah, well, turnovers, the unit. Oh, the Souths have gone in, they've kicked through and they've got a lucky try there.
Just so clever by Kakao. He lost the ball, kicked it off the ground to South's advantage, and then they scored the try next to the post.
Who scored that try, can you see?
That was Dallas Baton, I think.
Yeah, Penatito. So Dallas Penatito with the try, that's good. Scooped on that opportunist try and got it over the line.
12-3 kick to come, Charlie. So Souths are scooting away early.
Making it tough for Uni. They'll have to have a bit of a think. I heard South talking before the game, and they were saying, just concentrate on this game, don't turn the ball over, work hard, back your teammates up, all of those standard things, and that's play according to those standard commitments in a game.
We certainly do, Charlie, but unfortunately some games, for unknown reasons, they sometimes go out the window, and it's those games that you certainly get under a lot of pressure. The last time we played University, we were down by about the same margin, so you definitely can't write University off, and I'm sure that they'll keep coming. They're very constructive side.
You did win back in round 4 though, 26-21. This is Ayakuso, Ian Ayakuso, all but directly out in front. Keeps it very, very low, kicked and missed it. Ian out to the left, didn't add deep. That was a bad miss.
Yeah, 12 was a bad miss because you've seen him kick a couple. One was distance issue, the next one put it right over the green dot next to the red dots, but Ayakuso missed that one badly. He tended to tow it a little bit, Charlie. But it is 12-3 with the Souths and their outside backs just dominating.
So Evan, do you know anyone who could just shift that sun for a minute? Do something about it.
I know the last time that we talked, Charlie, when Palmerston were playing, we were sitting in the western grandstand and it was marvellous, but now sitting on the eastern side of the field where we know exactly why people weren't sitting in that grandstand.
And we know the value of sunglasses as well, how important they are. So Uni here with control of the ball and they've lost it. Let's see if they can clear this out. South, they do have it. Gee, they moved up pretty quick, Uni. They're putting a lot of pressure on here. So get some phases together. South might get them to the other end of the ground. It's of course where they want to be. And the talking, when you're at this level, close to the game, you can hear the amount of talking that goes on out there.
Definitely, and look, communication is, for me, and particularly when coaching, even with the young kids that I'm coaching now, that without communication, the game just doesn't flow. So it's one thing to have people talking, but other people have got to be listening as well. That's two ways of communication.
Well, Ian, we talk about this often. It's that little kick forward there. Sam Austin, that anywhere on a weekend around Australia, there'll be a coach saying, We've got to talk. We've got to talk. I mean, how many times do we have to tell them that they have to talk? It's important.
Well, it's, it's a bit of a cliche, but in all aspects of life, communication is so important. Interestingly, Charlie, I see Wise Sekatoga out there. No Ryan Oakley. I'm watching rugby for many, many years, and I reckon you could throw a kitchen sink in from a line out for Pirates, and either Ryan Oakley or Wise Sekatoga would get hold of it. We haven't seen the line out for Pirates yet, but it's been one of their really, really strengths over a long, long period of time. Oakley and Sekatoga with the line out.
Well, Oakley's named in the side at 7 and Sekatoga at 5, so we'll see if you can pick them up out there. The numbers are difficult to pick up as well, aren't they? On the back of the jerseys for the Pirates.
Well, that's our excuse, Charlie. It's not old age and blindness, but
no.
certainly Wise Sekatoga out there. Ryan Oakley will pick him up. It'll be just interesting to see how they go. This might be a line out, but it's going to be a South Darwin line out close to the Pirates line. So another big chance here for the Bunnies to score.
So guy standing just in front of us is Wal Kuka from South Darwin. Up very wide, wearing number 22. So South's doing all the attacking here, and Uni defending grimly. Ball in the hands this time of Billy Byrne. He ran hard when they stripped it, unloaded, beautiful, ran in for the try. I reckon it's Dallas Penatito again, isn't it?
Certainly is, Charlie, and look, that's one of Ian's strengths there. Offloaded that pass. He's actually playing in the front row. He's usually in the second row, and he's probably, I think, the only goal-kicking front row in the competition at the moment.
That's a pretty good job as well. So 2 tries in, get a score check.
Well, yeah, that's actually 3 tries. We've got he's got 2 and Setafano got 1. So score check 17-3, kick to come, South leading.
So Penatito with 2 tries, and Thakau with the other try for South. And all of the hard work here, early stages of the match. It was different. You were saying last time it was a bit different to that, Evan, where Uni got the start, didn't they? And South had to run them down back in what was that, round 4, I think it was.
Yeah, it was round 4, Charlie. Yes, they came out of the blocks and really, we didn't perform in the first half there. We started again at half time and back we go.
Extras added, 19-5. It's handy, 19-3, sorry. Good start for South End.
Look, it is, and I must say, Evan, that we were just saying about the President's Cup, a terrific concept. The fact is that the Souths and Pirates were first and second after the first round of competition. The next time they play, which is of course today, round 10, they actually play for the President's Cup. Terrific concept, I reckon.
So ball come back for the restart. 19-3, a little lopsided, early stages of the game. If you've just joined us, we're at Warren Park in Darwin, which is not normally the home for rugby union. It's the home for South Darwin's rugby league team, but they've been gracious enough to let the game to happen here. Here's big Ayakuso. He's a big fella. That's a big run. Took a few to bring him down as well, Evan. He's a big man, isn't he?
Yeah, it looks like Ian has been away for a while. He's actually a new father, so he's been away on father duties and parenting duties. And yeah, we're definitely welcoming him back to the fold.
So has he been in a good paddock, or is he just naturally a big man?
Oh no, he's definitely a big man, but I think he's been in a good paddock as well.
So Thekau did the good work back there. And that kick through came through from the Pirates, but then lost it. And Pirates a chance. Now they're in not a bad position. If they can control this ball and set up from here, they might work it okay. Chance to come out very wide. They test it out here. This is Isaac Taulalile. Back through the hands there of the number 1. Not sure who that is. We don't have a number for him.
That might be Ryan Oakley, I reckon. We'll see how they go.
It does look like Ryan.
Lanky man, he catches kitchen sinks. There he goes, lays it off.
Oh, that is a big tackle.
Yeah, there's Robbie Butcher. That's one way to stop the playmaker. Welcome back, Robbie.
He is still on the ground too. That was a big hit. But Pirates still here. A chance to run in for a try. That's Cochrane. They're just a couple of metres out. Dive for the line. Again, lay a big tackle laid on there. Tim Chu from South working pretty hard across the line.
Penalty.
Now a penalty. So Pirates get the penalty here. What are you going to do from here?
They're taking a quick tap and scored a try, I think, Charlie.
Come straight over.
You nearly missed it.
Number 2.
Number 2.
Wayne Robinson. No less than Wayne Robinson. He is a prolific try scorer, Wayne Robinson.
So yeah, we've actually got some interesting positional changes here that University Pirates have got. They're actually playing Shawnee Warhope, who's playing in the front row. He's actually a back previous years, and he's converted over to the front row.
We were saying earlier, it's a bit like Bernard Nicky. If Walkup's got the ball, you don't want to go near him, and if you've got the ball, you don't want to run near him, because he's a great defender and a great attacking player, isn't he?
Oh, he definitely is, and look, he was one of the NT representative players earlier in the year as well, in the sevens team that went down and played so well.
Oh, an absolute gun, and to be wearing 16 or playing in the front row, a bit unusual, but again, he is now a big man, but he's just been a terrific player over a long period of time, and you don't go anywhere near Sean Walkup if you are in the opposition side. As we see Honair Edwards to try and get the extra points. 19-8 at the moment.
Angle, not too much of a problem, shouldn't be too much of a challenge for him. Distance not a problem, obviously.
Edwards kicks, and unfortunately across the face.
He hooked it.
And the score stays at 19-8 as we close in on half time.
So I think it's interesting with some of the positional changes we have. I mean, with Ian playing in the front row for us and Sean playing in the front row for Pirates, it just shows, firstly, the commitment of the players to get a team on the paddock, and secondly, that sometimes up here with this smaller competition, we lack players in critical positions.
Tell us why South's such a good team. I mean, they are the benchmark, aren't they?
Oh, look, sometimes you get lucky in terms of people who turn up into Darwin, and depending on your connections that you've got, we've been certainly very lucky with some of our FNG connections to turn up in Darwin. But the top teams are all training very similar now. It's like teams around the country. They all have the same training patterns and all the same things they're trying to achieve. We've just got lucky with a few players, but we're still trying to rely on that team going.
And Pirates had a good run of success, didn't they, for such a long time?
Oh, definitely, Charlie. And look, an interesting fact, when I first moved to Darwin, the only team that had a website was the University Pirates, and I nearly ended up at the university. And if it wasn't for my wife directing me to South, I probably would have been playing for the University Pirates, because I certainly played for university teams throughout my career around the country.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned your wife, because the last time we did a game recently this year, but before that, last time we had a game, you retired. And then we come back years later and you still play.
Yeah, well, I'm pretty close to being retired again, unfortunately, after a nasty knee injury about a month or so ago, so I'm in rehab at the moment. But yeah, I've forgotten how many times I've retired. I think that was 2008, and it's on film, actually, me retiring, doing an interview, so I'll never be able to...
It's nearly a decade ago.
I'd actually retired before I moved to Darwin, and that was in 2003.
You've had so many retirements just to satisfy Tammy, so yeah, that'll be it. Darling, I won't play anymore, I'll stop over to look after the kids. Here's a line out. Gee, they're very high in the line out. Good lifting there by the Pirates.
Well, as I said earlier, normally it's Sekatoga and Ryan Oakley against their own line out, but that was against the throw then, and it really has been a strength of the Pirates over a long period of time. Pretty important part of the game.
It's the line out, you've got to get them right.
I think there's a couple of players are trying to get the attention of the referee. They've got a nasty injury down in 22, I think that's what one of the players.
We found referees, they finally got the referee's attention, but it was right back in that back corner, so it's a Pirates player, and they're actually picking him up. Looks like it might be an ankle injury. You would know those sorts of injuries, wouldn't you, Evan?
Yes, unfortunately.
I thought you were more into the knees.
Ankles, knees, you name it, I've probably had a strap up or broken it once in my time. And I'm one of the lucky ones.
So the carry off has happened. We've seen many injuries in the rugby this year.
Oh, look, they always happen. We've certainly lost a few guys who are out for the season, and they were very early on. But unfortunately, that's part of the game. Did you get injuries in any sport? Certainly I've seen some nasty soccer injuries, nasty hockey injuries as well. And it's about conditioning sometimes. Players up here who aren't in the best conditions, shall we say, or don't turn up to regular trainings and those sort of things are certainly more susceptible to injuries.
Now, we used to see headgear being worn quite a bit in years gone by. Don't see it as much now. Looks like the injuries are lower body rather than up around the head.
Yeah, no, if it was a head injury, Charlie, I don't think they'd move him. Certainly not able to walk probably to that carry.
Well, Ian, you keep an eye on that number, that post access number 15 for Uni that's coming off might be Brady Cochran, I reckon.
Yeah, the fullback Brady Cochran it is, and they'll miss him. But the Pirates are on the attack, and they've got plenty of blokes on the sideline there to replace him. But Cochran's been pretty good as an outside back for Pirates this year.
Give us a score check. 19-8.
I'd say with the fullback coming off, I'd suggest that Robbie Butcher will go back to fullback. He's quite comfortable back there, and he can direct the play from back there.
They line out very short in front of us, straight there into the hands of this man running. That's Rapata. They get 4 or 5 to him and hold him up. So he goes around and now releases it. Pass came out there by Austin. So South now, can they build some good phases here again? Austin with the pass out, goes out to his right. The tackling is just ferocious. You really get an idea of just how tough the game is when you sit at ground level as we are, just a couple of metres from the sideline.
I don't like watching Charlie much because, as you say, it just looks...
There he is again, centre Fano, back down. No, it's not. It's the inside centre. Yeah, it's a belly.
Run away.
A belly.
I'll let you pronounce that.
Oh, gee.
Atanasia.
Atanasia. Yeah. A belly Atanasia. Gee, it was a good try. That's the sort of thing you see at the hottest sevens here.
24-8, kick to come, and directly in front. Once again, it was the break by the South's outside backs, and certainly the outside backs for Pirates have got to... I'm not quite sure what they do here. Is it just one-on-one, or keep Cacao away from the ball?
Look, I think it's a matter of retaining possession, and that came from a turnover once again. And Souths are just going to go on any turnover. They did the same against Palmerston. Palmerston had immense amounts of ball and immense amounts of pressure, and it was just those little turnovers that Souths go on.
And then once they get the break, they're gone. So very quick players once they can get the ball out to them.
Yeah, definitely. And Dallas is running down that side. He's already scored a couple of tries. He's quickening himself, and he was able to get away with Setter there and feed that ball back inside once he got the pass away.
I think that's the 4th try, Ian, isn't it, for
1, 2,
South?
3, 4. Yes, it is.
So this is getting close to half time here.
24-8, kick to come, Charlie. Ayakuso again. But this is about his distance, I reckon. He goes all right. He doesn't like being too close. Got to give this something.
Well, the try gave him the angle okay, so he's gone back and he's kicked and he's put it away.
Pushed it across again. So 24-8, and closing in on half time.
It might be that he doesn't have his favourite kicking tee. We had an interesting occurrence last year before the grand final, with the final training we had before we went out. His kicking tee mysteriously disappeared. He hadn't missed a kick for several games, and then all of a sudden he had a new kicking tee and couldn't strike the ball.
Are you suggesting he was nobbled?
Someone stole it. This is Big Faloo and Rain Lover.
Hello. Yeah, fine cotton.
I wouldn't have thought that a kicking tee disappearing would throw so much disruption through a team. But a missing kicking tee was just the last thing that anybody...
Really? Is that with a kicking tee, then you can't just replace it with another kicking tee?
Well, we could, but it wasn't the same height and it wasn't the same shape, so the ball was sitting differently on the tee that he was using. So
I've known that before, you're quite right.
Yeah, they practice over and over and over again with the same tee through using the same stroke when they're kicking the ball, and if that ball is sitting at a different angle or a different height, it just throws everything out. And then once your confidence gone, it can be a big factor.
Be good to have 2 of them.
Well, I wouldn't say this in front of Ian Ayakuso, but the poor dear.
Yeah, he's had many ribbings about losing the green, because it was a green kicking tee, so everybody had to find the green kicking tee.
And no one knows where it is. It's gone, mysteriously disappeared forever.
No, but let's just say that several have been bought for this season.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
University Pirates trail 8:24, closing in on half time. What can they do? It's just those outside backs holding up well in the centre, in the forwards, but it's the outside backs that are getting the deed done for Souths.
Yeah, definitely. Look, University in their centres as well. They've got big, strong, hard-running centres as well. They're just turning the ball over at critical times.
I just love it when they get it out to the backs. That's that free-running rugby. It's just that's what the crowds want, don't they?
Well, definitely. It's just that interplay. Even if the forwards are running in tight and popping passes left and right, it's just that free-flowing style that everyone wants to see.
So the forwards can soften them up, and then they use these great... Look at that's a great pass. He is straight through. He has just run straight through, and they're going over towards the corner. Big tackle, and the ball has landed just inside the field of play. And University Pirates driving forward here in the corner. The referee's going to take a close look at it, and it's actually over the sideline.
I think they're going back to pick up the ribs after that tackle. I think they're splattered all inside his shirt.
I heard the crowd groan then in unison as that impact occurred. But that was just an example of Robbie Butcher chiming in from fullback. He's gone from inside centre to fullback, chimes into the line, makes a big break. tries to put his winger away, who unfortunately ran into a brick wall.
Now let's see the strength of the Pirates on the South Darwin line.
With the line out there.
Sekatoga's in there, but
They haven't got the
South
feed,
have got it. No, they haven't got the feed.
Now a chance for Pirates with a pass back. Referee has his hand up and signalling.
Yeah, knock on at the front of the line out by University, and then a knock on by South Darwin. So the first infringement's a knock on by University, so Darwin get the feed at the scrum. In on the 15-metre line.
It's difficult where we are to tell just how close they are to that line, aren't we? That's 15 metres, you're saying?
Yeah, it might be great when I hear in the media that there'll be a big grandstand built over here shortly.
And is this where it's actually going to be built, right, where we're sitting?
Look, from what I've seen of the plans, there'll be 3 fields, and there'll probably be a grandstand here somewhere, but it'll be looking to the east. So South Rugby Union will still have a field to play on, but the Rugby League guys will get a nice big grandstand to play on.
There's a knock on, it looks like a knock on right on the South's line. But we're going to pay the advantage, getting it to Sean Walker. He'll get it over.
Tackling and then a kick
Still
through.
the advantage is being called, and the advantage will be taken now. University Pirates, as we must be closing in on half time. The last chance, I reckon, the last throw of the dice for the Pirates.
And the good thing that's happened is that sun, by the time we come back in the second half, will have dropped over behind the trees over there, I reckon, with a bit of luck.
We might be in the dark, Charlie. We might be able to see anything.
Well, we've got some lights here, haven't they? We've got some lights. There's a chance there. Uni pushing right on the line. They'd love a try just before half time, and they spread it out wide. South defence is pretty good, standing up strong. Good straight line defence back there. Uni go out very wide again, trying to come back in the field of play, back to the straight in front of the posts.
I reckon out here to the right, unless Robinson can get through there.
Robinson,
Shorty Warhope's certainly setting up with Wise. They usually run together quite well.
That's why I predicted the right side. But perhaps
so
up
right
the middle.
On the line, and still not able to get it off. Referee having a close look at this. Uni still with it. They're building the phases here.
They're just going to try and roll it over there, Charlie. They're just going to keep it in tight, but I wouldn't surprise Shawnee's moved in there now with a bit of power.
But we saw Palmerston try and break the line. They couldn't a few weeks ago because the defence of Souths is really, really good. Even though they were a couple of players down against Palmerston a 2 or 3 weeks ago, as you recall, Evan.
They get there quickly, don't they? South's had about 4 players run across there to hold that up and stop Uni from getting across.
Uni have cheered there, so they might have squeezed an arm through and got a grounding, looks like.
They have.
They've got him.
So you're reading the crowd, you're doing well.
Yeah, well, sometimes, particularly if you're a referee, it's not a good idea to be listening to the crowd, but yeah, sometimes you can get a bit of a gauge on what's happened.
And they're going to the hooker. Well, there's actually 3 of them that are getting a pat on the back, so I think it was a good team effort.
Yeah, it's a team try. Yeah.
Yes, I certainly can't see any numbers.
No.
Well, a tough conversion assignment now.
And they've given it to Robbie Butcher too, so they've taken the kick off the youngster Honair Edwards and got Butcher, who is the experienced kicker and probably will nail this.
Yeah, look, I suppose he probably was trying to take it easy. It's his first game back. He's had a knee injury. He probably didn't want to have the kicking duties, but let's see how he goes.
So Robbie Butcher, we can see him directly down in front of us. The University team goes back to the middle of the ground in a huddle. They're talking, plenty of a chat coming from them. They've been just, I reckon, revitalised by that effort. They worked hard to get it, and then that arm just sneaking through, despite what we said, 5 South defenders trying to hold it up. So it's a good team try for University. So Butcher in front of us, got the heavily strapped right knee, crouches over the ball. All important kick here, close to half time. Moves in, strikes it pretty well. That looked great off the boot. That's a good kick, and he converts. It's a good one. Score in.
Yeah, it's 15-24 in favour of South, 24-15. 4 tries to 2, so that's a good reflection of the score. 24-15. South's closing in on half time.
And it keeps Uni in the game. If they not scored that converted try there, then things would have looked pretty tough in the second half.
Yeah, scoring a try, 7 points on the board, you certainly close the gap pretty quickly. So, yep, that's all they needed to do to keep themselves motivated for the second half.
The South with the restart. And it's a shallow kick. They all get there and knocked away by University. Lands on the ground. They'll get numbers at the ball. South do win it though, so they can build from here. South can come back hard here, don't they? They don't like having tries scored against them. We saw that before. They're using the ball pretty well right now.
Sam Austin seems to be a pretty good replacement at halfback for Tim Atkinson.
Yeah, well, Timmy hasn't played much this year, but our halfback is actually playing at inside centre now. So when he came to the club, Vinny Moon from France, he was actually at the centre, and we converted him to a halfback. And now he's back in the centre to let Sam slot in.
So some hard work here by Thakau over towards the corner and right through, bust straight through the line. South have done this a couple of times today. Uni score a try, South come straight back and score at the other end within minutes.
So he's your man, that's a Bealey.
Yeah, Abelli has just left a couple of university players on the ground. As he's just gone straight over the top of them. Not only is he knocking him over in defence, he's doing his attack as well.
We don't have a clock on the game, but so you can't be that far away before we go to the half-time break.
Yeah, so that's half-time, Charlie, 31-15. I reckon I heard the double whistle there from referee Simon Scoble. 31-15, that's 5 tries to 2 at half-time. South's leading in the President's Cup match.
Second half, what are we going to get, Evan?
It's going to get a lot darker and that sun will be out of our face, but look, Souths have just now got to be on the ball, no turnovers, because Uni will get a good briefing here at half-time, and they'll come back down, sun at their backs, downhill for the last half.
All right, so half-time here in this President's Cup match at Warren Park in Darwin, round 10 of Northern Territory Rugby Union. It's South Darwin leading University at half-time, 31-15.
This is where I want to be.
You got some interviews in it.
Swear away the laptop.
Oh yes, so who got the tries in? We've got 2
Points
to
me is
3 to Abelli in the end then, I think.
3 to Abelli.
Fun and doing what you love to do. I play on the Rabbitohs. Playing rugby brings you closer with the Australians that you're playing with, but also some of the Marines that play with you, and it really brings you together. What keeps me driving for that competitive will is just always wanting to win, always be the best that you possibly can, and not letting the people to your left and right down. It's very intense. You keep pushing yourself, and you keep breaking through limits that you didn't think you could achieve. And you're like, wow, I can't believe I just did that. Like, and I feel great.
Here with Peter Pauly from South. How are you, mate?
Yeah, good, bro.
That's the way. South's going pretty well so far this year, mate.
Yeah, undefeated season. It's been right, yeah. Everything seems to be falling into place.
That's it, mate. Big game this weekend, President's Cup up against Uni.
Yeah.
What are going to be the keys to getting the job done?
Consistency, really. Those boys always bring it. They love to beat us, so I'm sure they'll bring it on that day too.
Yeah, there's never any love lost really between the top 3 sides, mate. They all seem to step up against each other, yourselves, Uni, Casuarina.
Yeah.
Extra little bit of silverware on the line. It's a nice little bit of incentive and to keep that undefeated record intact.
That's always good, yeah. Just a bit of silverware on the photo and then
Yeah, that's exactly right, mate. Just another one to add to the cabinet, hopefully.
Yeah, that's it.
How you been travelling yourself so far this year?
The knee's been playing up a bit, but everything else seems to be holding up together.
Old age slowly getting the better of you?
That's it, eh?
Yeah, we all know how that is, mate. So you guys obviously, even your B grade's going pretty well as well. I think they're sitting second behind Uni.
Yeah, they haven't been too bad considering like we've been struggling a couple of weeks there without numbers, but yeah, boys always pulling through. It's pretty good.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt, mate. I've seen a few cameos from a few rugby league guys as well, adding to a few of your numbers and that, so that doesn't hurt when you can get those in.
Yeah, that's it.
A quick thought from you, mate. I don't know how much you know about this. I know there's been some guys tossing about the idea of potentially the union season moving forward and the league season moving back. Do you think that'd help the strength of both comps?
Could do. You get a lot of fit players all through the year anyway. You get be able to play both codes, but yeah, first I heard anyway.
All right, well, we'll get your thoughts on the other games this weekend. Casuarina, they host Dragons. Dragons have been given a few sides a run for their money this year.
Yeah, Dragons always got it. They always bring it on the Saturday, but I reckon Casuarina will get up there.
And the battle of the 2 sides probably in the cellar at the moment. Both sides sitting outside the top 4. Palmy and Swampy. Swampies have been scraping through. They've had 90 and 100 put on them the last 3 weeks. A bit of a tough time there, mate. Palmy not going that well either, but I think most people will be tipping Palmy there.
Yeah, definitely Palmy will probably get up there. Swampy's still struggling even though they're getting showing up every Saturday. But yeah, Palmerston, even though they're not as good as they were last year, they're still going to get on top here.
Yeah, I'd tip Palm to get their second win there, mate. But great to see those young Swampies blokes just turning up every week and still having a crack. So, all right, mate. Well, good luck this weekend for the President's Cup, the home game as well, and I believe your Ladies' Day. And I know Casuarina having their Ladies' Day as well. So there'll be plenty of girls around at the footy, hopefully this weekend.
Just you like it, eh?
That's exactly right, mate. Thanks very much for your time.
All right, bro. Thanks.
On behalf of South Darwin Rugby Union, we'd like to thank all our sponsors for their continued support of our club.
Shots on 3! 1, 2, 3, go!
Chris O'Leary, number 8.
Philip O'Shea, tight head, prop.
Greg Summers, hydration man.
Peter Pauly, props, hooker, winger.
Off the field, definitely just going down to the pub, having a few drinks with everybody, learning their stories, learning where everyone comes from. Very diverse group here.
Billy Byrne does.
Mate, just have players camaraderie against the players. They just everybody sticks together. They help each other, and the Marines come in a few games, which is really good. They've gelled in very good.
Just flick the camera stream when you're ready. Is that
most annoying? Peter Pauly, definitely.
That'll be definitely Watson and Cooker.
Peter Pauly.
That'd be Fraser, yeah.
A friend of mine was helping out with St Mary's Aussie Rules. We came across last year and gave him a hand.
Marston Maris, New Zealand.
Originally from California, the stateside.
Hey, from Marist, Whanganui, New Zealand. About a year and a half now. Started halfway through last year.
It's my second year.
This is my 4th season actually. It's been good.
I've been here since March time frame.
We'll go on this one.
Definitely the win last year, especially the 2 seasons before coming short. So it was really good to get the one last year.
So we're back here for the resumption of the second half here. If you've just joined at South Leading University here at Warren Park in Darwin, 31-15. It is round 10 of Northern Territory Rugby Union. Stephen Torres-Khan, long-time supporter of South. What did you make of the first half, Stephen?
Yeah, no, it was good. Good tussle, but I think obviously South's getting on top there in the back, getting some good service from the forwards, and halfback getting the ball out wide, just getting that quick. So feeding the likes of Serafano and outside centre, our belly. So yeah, they're certainly talking some havoc out wide there.
That Fijian connection's a strong one at South.
Yeah, it's very strong, and the fella's been here for a few years now, and yeah, they've built up a bit of a following and a strong rugby culture here, bringing their own flavour to the club. So yeah, and it's been a steady flow of good quality players like Serafano.
A strong performance from them in the first half. What do you see coming from them in the second half? What do they need to do from here on?
I think just more of the same, really. Just consolidate what they've built on now. Just keep putting points on, playing it in their half, and yeah, just keep matching them there in the forwards, and quick service out wide to their backs. Just play to their strengths.
They've run in the tries, haven't they? 5 tries to 2. And by the way, that try we were trying to work out earlier on for University, Isaac Talalele scored that try along with Wayne Robinson. But 5 tries to 2. Fair reflection of the game, do you think, in the first half for South?
Yeah, I think so, because South's got a bit more ball security and doing a lot more with it when they do get it out wide. So it's just, yeah, good reflection. They really show what they can do close to the line, when they do get the ball. So they've got a few good runners and forwards, and they're working hard as well.
Well, once South break that line, they do have pace, don't they? Their backs are much quicker. They get through that line very hard to stop. We've seen that a few times in those 5 tries, haven't we?
Yeah, they only need a bit of a sniff gap and put the pedal to the metal and they're through, you know. A couple of fellas look like they're only jogging, but yeah, they're actually moving.
Well, we just saw a belly there showing his pace, didn't we?
Yeah, he's put some big hits on there too earlier on. So he not only run, he's a strong defender as well.
It makes me feeling comfortable sitting here. Stephen, nice to talk to you. Good luck with it. Hope it works out for you.
Thanks, Charlie. Yeah, it should be a good match.
Stephen Torres-Khan, who should be a life member one day, we hope. I saw him with a couple of life members out there a short time ago.
Won't be long. So yeah, so played South since I was in Union, since I was 16, C grade, and back in the old days and back into A grade a year later, and ever since I've stuck in there. So yeah, looking forward to that life membership.
vote 1, Stephen Torres-Khan. Thanks, Stephen. Nice to see you. But as you went out and had a listen there, I went over to South as this game's got underway in the second half. They just business as usual. They weren't doing anything different. They just sort of keep doing the same thing that we've done. What did you hear over with the Uni camp?
Yeah, Uni were just a little bit tough on themselves. I think the discipline between players out on the field, they're going to make sure that their discipline is much, much better in the second half. And we're only 3.5 minutes into the second half, and certainly at the moment there has been no chatter between the university players. So they've lifted their discipline. They recognise that as a problem. It is not about us or about individuals. It is about the team, and so they want to gather. And I think they've done that already. They're on the attack as well.
You see them here on the attack, as Ian said. Got the ball where they want it and control of it. That's the important thing. Building the phases in, how important is that in rugby when you've got control of it? Because you often see they lose it, they lose it, they knock it on or whatever. But how important is it just to keep control of it?
Look, it's a terrific point that you're making. It's almost the rugby league syndrome, isn't it? After 5, after the 5th tackle, you've got to give the ball away. In rugby, you can have 15, you can have 25 phases. And what rugby teams have got to do, what the good teams do and what the All Blacks do, they just maintain possession. They don't throw the speculator, they don't give the ball away, they maintain possession, and it's phase after phase after phase, and sooner or later it will open up. It is patience, it is discipline within the team.
Well, next Saturday at Eden Park, the All Blacks play the British and Irish Lions. Now, the British and Irish Lions have 2 games in New Zealand against teams from over there. They won one and lost the other. What chance have they got of closing in on the all-conquering All Blacks?
Oh, well, it's interesting. I don't think they have, because they won one and lost one, as you said, the British and Irish Lions, but they've brought about 35, 40 players over, so they give everyone a go. They rest their A team for the All Blacks. But I watched the All Blacks last night, bits and pieces, because it was a bit embarrassing. 75-0, I think it was, against Samoa, and the All Blacks are awesome.
Here's the kick. You could have almost brought that in.
Well, I left it for Evan Needham. It's the team thing. He can break his fingers, and I'm not going to go near it.
He's retired.
Oh, okay.
Evan, good to see you back. Second half underway. We went out and had a bit of a listen. What's it, 5.5 minutes into the second half? Both teams seem to say, well, leave things as they are, not too many things to change. If that's the case, South's going to coast to win here.
Well, yeah, if Uni hang on to the ball, then it deprives South of the ball, and they've already had a couple of instances where they've turned it over and it's cost them plenty of yards. So they've already made a couple of breaks, Uni, so I wouldn't write them off this bet.
Uni at the line out. They went right over the back and missed the line out and got to Kyoto for South, and South now got the ball from the line out towards, they've just gone over halfway.
Penalty and advantage for South, so they can afford to speculate here, Charlie, because the penalty will be taken back. And that's the only time you can speculate, in my view. You've just got to be patient. The referee's still got his arm out. Now he's got dropped the arm, so I assume that his time is up for the advantage, but it doesn't matter because it might be a cacao on the outside.
So he's over in the sunset here, right over in that corner. I think they've just got him. We can look on the screen here, but we can't see what's happening with South. Now they've got the pass, bring it back into the middle. A chance for an intercept there. Didn't quite work. Intercept's handy if you can get it.
Yeah, he's going to have to run a long way. That was Shawnee Rawhope coming out on the line. We talked about his defence earlier. He was trying to put a big shot on there to cut the play down. I think they're worried about the numbers here.
So South can build out wide. They've
got 2 on 1 out
wide.
wide.
2 out. See if they can get it out there quickly. You can see out there is Wayne Robinson is out there as well for Uni. He just moved across to block that off.
Go, Grease, come on! Yeah, we had front rower on front rower there on on the inside ball.
Gee, that's a big run there. That was Rapata.
Yeah. Bit of a trick play there. I hadn't seen that one before. Vinny Mins away.
The Frenchman.
He's the captain, isn't he? He's an interesting story coming across from France to captain this side.
Yeah, no, he came to the club late last year and he's been a valuable asset for us. And yeah, he's captain of the team this year.
And the vicious rumour, Evan, was that, look, he can stay if he wants to. He can stay if he wants to. He did stay, and now he's the club captain. Is that any truth in that rumour? or am I up to a bit of nonsense?
No, here in the top end, anything could be true.
Well, it's the international game. It's good to see a Frenchman playing here as well. Nothing wrong with that.
Look, I must admit, early on, it was through, just as I said, talking about connections earlier on, it was someone that I used to work with who worked for someone else who rang me one day and knew I'd played rugby and said, there's a French guy here who wants to play rugby, and we were near the end of the season. And
we've got the yellow card, university, big fella being sent off.
And it'll be Wise, Sekatoga's gone.
Is that Wise?
Yeah, it looks like Wise.
Because I did hear a little rumour at the huddle at half time that they wanted Wise to go off because the lack of perhaps a little bit of self-discipline, dare I say it, from the big man. And it might be a true reflection because now they're down to 14 on 15 and Wise is off.
And that's one of the longest walks, apart from when you make a duck in cricket, is when you're sent off in the rugby. You take as long as you like to get off the field. Wise is taking the longest. Now we breaks into a bit of a jog to get off the ground. Meanwhile, they're setting up for a scrum over on that far side of the ground and south, deep in Pirates territory here.
I think that's because someone just pointed out to Wise that the clock doesn't start for his 10 minutes until he's actually off the field and sitting in the chair. So the longer you take to get off, the longer you're actually letting your team down.
Now, one of the great things is, Ian, as we drop our voice, Wise is coming to sit not that far from us. So you better be careful what you say, okay?
Indeed, I will. He's actually off the field. He's an absolute gentleman, but gee whiz.
Well, to show what sort of connections, we actually play touch football with Wise during the touch football season. So the clubs all off the paddock, they all get together and they all participate in recreational activities together, and then we get on the paddock and it's my team against your team.
Snap!
Can I just ask you, rugby league was played here, the NRL, at the big game between Parramatta and North Queensland. Got 12,000 people come along to watch it. How long has it been since there's been a representative side or a level higher than this that's come to Darwin and played? Was it Scotland a long time ago?
I think we had the Brumbies coming up. They were on a 3-year deal, and I think that probably finished about 4 years ago now, Charlie. So it was quite a while ago.
Yeah, you're quite right. And 4 or 5 years ago, the Brumbies, 3 years. And really, they set the world on fire up here. It was just terrific. And for some reason, no more.
Yeah, look, they had a similar deal, I understand, to the Parramatta Eels. And unfortunately, it obviously didn't fit with their organisation. But it'd be great to have somebody like that back up here to generate the interest in the game.
Souths for the corner here. Good defence though, Uni hanging on grimly. Eddie Jones loved it coming up here, didn't he? I thought he bought a number of the Wallabies here.
Yeah, I think Eddie Jones is an old Souths boy, if I remember correctly. Someone will probably correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure he had a Souths time.
Because I think he left and then he went to coach in Japan, I think, and then over to England.
Yeah.
Well done, the 14 on 15, Charlie. The defence, so the discipline within the University Pirates has remarkably changed since the first half. They spoke about it, as I said, at the halftime huddle, and that's been reflected apart from the player being sent off.
Yeah, it's an interesting penalty there, because I thought Souths were actually in possession of the ball when they've been penalised for being offside. So they must have turned the ball over and then in their enthusiasm to get it back and got themselves in front of the ball.
So the clearing kick here to take the pressure off.
Score check, Charlie, 31-15, Souths leading Pirates. That was the score at half-time. We are 11 and a half minutes into the second half, no extra score, 31-15 in favour of the Bunnies.
Well, you can set the game up in the first half, can't you?
Well, yeah, and look, for a lot of the teams up here, fitness in that last 20 minutes plays a crucial factor. So sometimes it can be who can hang on, sometimes it can be who can come over the top.
And what about these line-outs? Did we take anything out of them?
Ryan, well, before we go, that was the one that caught the kitchen sink. That was Ryan Oakley. Wise Sekatoga, of course, on the bench at the moment. So the line out was won in good style by University Pirates, and I keep saying that's been a real strength for them for a decade.
Yeah, no, definitely the set piece. Souths have certainly not been doing very well in the set piece. They've had several turnovers in the lineouts, and if they keep doing that, they're going to let University back into the game.
Well, a couple of good penalties got them out of trouble here, Uni, so it's working pretty well for them. South maybe being a little bit undisciplined here. Here's their kick. Gains them probably it's almost 30 metres.
A terrific kick. I watched him at half time. He's got a mouse, he's got a beauty, so he copped one in the first half, but it hasn't affected him. That was a great kick.
Just a 30-metre clearance kick there at halfway.
Yeah, and look, teams know that sometimes South will lose their discipline, so they just keep at you and they just wait for South to play. We certainly used to do that a long time ago.
So they've got the line out as well, South. Now, they went early, did they?
So he's got to try for balking and for throwing the line out. You're allowed to have a balk throw, so free kick for South.
And they muck it up. The pass wasn't that good. Ball has landed on the ground. Referee's seen the knock on. Uni are going to get the ball.
So that's probably the discipline we're talking about there, Charlie. If we've got those turnovers, they probably should have taken that to ground in the contact and looked to recycle rather than trying to pop that pass, and that's sometimes gets South into trouble with looking for those passes.
And that's that almost that rugby league syndrome, isn't it? That's awful. That's where the All Blacks just have got it over everyone else. They just maintain possession, look for the opening, and away they go.
Yeah, look, when I was growing up, we got taught that you didn't have to break tackles to score tries. It was about passing the ball to someone in a better position and then backing up. And if you could pass the ball and maybe get it back again, you're probably going to be in some space. And once you get to the level where people are tackling you, you can no longer just run through. And once you're tackled, that people don't know what to do. So.
Certainly in any of these ball games, if you've got possession, the opposition can't score, really. I mean, if you can keep possession, it's make it really difficult for them.
Yeah, exactly, Charlie. Just like an AFL game, if you're kicking well and marking well, and handballs are going to hand, and you deny them with possession, then you do two things: you tire them out, and you get an opportunity to score.
Well, in some games, if you are so superior, the opposition would never touch the ball. You'd have it from start to finish. Kick the goal, take it back, start again, kick another one. It's never that lopsided, really. Although some people like it to be.
Well, it was almost that way last night, 75-0. I think it was All Blacks in Samoa.
Where was that played in? That must have been played in New Zealand.
Of course, Eden Park, the fortress.
What a great day. In Adelaide, the Port Adelaide team walked from the mall in Adelaide to the Adelaide Oval for games, but they do that at Eden Park as well. They meet down on the wharf and they walk from there right through Auckland to Eden Park. It's an extraordinary experience.
After eating half a cow raw.
Cow raw, is that a player?
Yeah.
So darkness starting to descend here. The lights are on. Haven't had any effect just yet, but we are playing in the twilight here, and the score is 31-15, and we've played almost 15. We're just ticking past 15 minutes of this second half. It is Ladies' Day, and it is the President's Cup here, game between the two top teams in Northern Territory Rugby Union. South taking on University, and South in control of this match. They won this match, well, not this match, but they did play against University back in round 4 and won 26-21, but they're playing good rugby at the moment, and they're going to be tough to beat, not only tonight, Evan, but for the rest of the season, undefeated coming in here. And just looking at this, if this is the second team they are playing, then someone's going to have to find something to knock their South over.
Well, yeah, look, University have only lost a couple of games, but sometimes winning all those games, you get a bit complacent, so it's going to be up to the boys to stay focused and grind away.
The referee's picked up the knock on right in front of us here. And they brought rugby to us, like we can reach out and touch these players.
Well, indeed we have. And Pirates have certainly lifted after a bit of soul searching at the huddle at half time. Great to see them lift, great to see the discipline from within, and they're reaping the rewards. Certainly not on the scoreboard, it's 31-15, but neither side has scored after 16 minutes of the second half.
Well, they stemmed the flow, didn't they?
They did indeed.
But you don't want to lose 31-15 if you want to get a score.
Well, indeed you do. So it's 5 tries to 2 if they could get another couple of tries, because they've had a mountain of possession, Pirates. They're a player down at the moment, so it's a little bit tough to get it out wide to score. But once Sekatoga gets on, or they get to 15-15 on, I think it might be a different matter.
And they can work at the halfway, Evan, University, but they've had trouble getting it even further than that. And Ian said, so much of the possession here in the second half of the Pirates.
Yeah, look, and their style of play works on gaining ground slowly over time. They've got a couple of players, Robbie Butcher for one, who can score long-range tries. Shawnee Warhope, when he hasn't got his head in the scrum, can certainly score some long-range tries, and the outside centre's been doing some barnstorming around. So we've certainly got the players out there to do it. They just need to hang on to the ball.
They get it from the scrum now. Let's see what they can do. They've got them spread out pretty wide, that far side. They've an element of forward to it, and again they've lost it. South get to it. The referee's got his hand out. It was a knock on.
Yeah, I'm not sure who's. It's South's penalty. They're claiming that it was a knock on by Pirates first.
Yeah, I think they've got him either for a forward pass there or knocked it on as he tried to catch it, and then South has knocked it out of his hands. So 2 knock-ons back to the original offence.
Yeah, just explain that for people who don't know, that there's 2 or 3 offences, they go back to the first one.
So the referee's allowed to play what they call advantage. So if one team just has a discretion, knocks the ball on, the other team can keep playing and try and take advantage of that mistake. If that doesn't happen, they can come back to the scrum. If the other team knocks the ball on, play will stop and they'll come back to the scrum. Or the penalty.
Why is Sekatoga still sitting in? How much time's he got on the chair?
About another 3 minutes, I reckon. The coach Honey Edwards Senior is checking with the linesman at the moment, and all clocks synchronised, and they might have 15 on 15 short. And let's hope they do, because they'll need it. Because now it's on the Pirates line, and the knockdown was just terrific there. The defence of South Darwin has been very good, and whilst we haven't had a score in 18 and a half minutes, South's are close.
It's a tight game now. It's really tightened up, hasn't it?
Certainly has, and I'm just having a look. I think the South's halfback's injured his elbow quite badly. And he's calling for some attention.
South now just kept the ball in the field of play in front of us here. And why is Sekatova doing a little bit of coaching from out there? Is he allowed to do that? Heavy tackle, and that's going over there is Maivalu.
Sorry, Charlie, I missed that. I was just saying there's going to be a little bit of scuffle on the sideline.
I think it was Ravasi Maivalu caught in the big tackle there, driven over the sideline. So line out in front of us.
The one they call the boss, played a couple of premierships with Casuarina, Navalu.
These are names familiar we've heard from many years ago, still playing.
Yeah, I think like a lot of people in Darwin, work commitments has kept him away, and he's come back with a bit of a change. He's played a few games for South over the last year or so.
You may run out of batteries with horsepower.
So Uni with the break
so
now.
No longer broadcasting.
No, we're still I've got a flashing light. I'm telling you, can't work out while there's nothing going down this wire. So when this thing stops, that's it. You'll be all.
So Uni got a little bit of a break there in, almost got through, but South got across time. The same thing's happening for the entire duration of this first half. Uni get the ball, lots of possession, get to about halfway, can't get past that.
It's that extra man that Souths have got in defence with 14 on 15, Joey. So crucial that they have the same numbers. Pirates, another penalty for Pirates.
Now this is their first chance to get deeper, so they've taken this little tap here.
And there's no point Pirates trying to score points from penalty points. They've got to score tries.
Yeah.
Those lights come on when you've got power there.
It's difficult to do one short.
I've just seen the battery warning just popped up on my screen. That's the only reason.
Yellow card here.
Again, so we'll just even it up. Let's have a look what happens.
Well, I reckon
who's facing the referee?
That South Darwin player is going off because he in fact looked like he was deliberately offside and threw the ball into him. Great decision by the referee. He's right on the ball. And so now it's 14 on 14. The Sekatoga is due to come on in a minute or so. So then it'll be reversed. It'll be 15 on 14 in favour of Pirates.
It's extraordinary. Do you like the send-off rule?
Look, it works beautifully if it's refereed consistently, and certainly this referee is the best, one of the best in the business up here, and he's been terribly consistent in his decisions, and both send-offs were warranted. You can't ask for more than that, and there've only been 2 chances, both were warranted.
And that's what supporters want, don't they? Consistency, but often it doesn't matter how consistent you are. They're not going to agree with it. 50% of the people are probably not going to agree with the decision of the referee.
Well, they're not, and the fact is that we haven't got the benefit of replay and cameras all around the ground. So what the referee sees or doesn't see holds.
So if I can just give you a little scene setter from here. So we're sitting in the almost half dark here as the sun sets in the distance. Quite a spectacular sunset as normal in Darwin over in the west, and a great rugby game in front of us, President's Cup match, and University on the big drive towards the line here, almost all the way to the line.
I reckon they are, Charlie.
I reckon they are over. Over for a score there, Ian. Try.
Yeah. Now it looked like Sean Walker, but I don't think it was. I thought I saw him come off a little bit earlier. Try and pick that player up.
They've turned away.
I reckon it might be Sean Walker, but he's the bloke that I reckon is the nearest thing ever to Bernard Nicky. When he's got the ball, you keep away from him, and when you've got the ball, don't run near him.
So the conversion's going to be a really tough one because it was scored right over in the corner. That's not the worry though. But what is good news for University? They were persistent, they worked it, finally got it there, and they got the try that they wanted. But the good news for them, they're going to have the extra player shortly.
Well, it was even numbers, that's right, because it's 14 on 14 at the moment. And as you said, Joe, they've been in South's half for most of the second half, which is 22 minutes old. And Robbie Butcher about to try and get the extra points. It's 31-20 at the moment, and still looking for that player. It was Sean Walker that scored the try, so he's the one that we thought at the start of the game might be the difference. Probably too far behind. We're up to 23 minutes in the second half. Robbie Butcher about to get the extra point, so 31-20 with a kick to come for the University Pirates.
Great sight in front of us here. Waiseka Togo is sitting in the sin bin on the chair, and the man has just come to join him from South, Philip O'Shea, sitting with him. They're like two old mates sitting down on the wharf doing the spotter fishing. They're having a good chat there. You wouldn't think that they're playing against each other. One's about to go back on, sent back out on the field. The other one there, O'Shea's going to spend a bit more time on the sin bin, in the sin bin.
Well, the question is, how long is 10 minutes?
This is a long 10 minutes.
Not as long as Wise has been sitting on the sideline, I don't think.
Well, they should give him a call at any minute and send him back out there. They'll need that extra player. So score check in?
Score check 31-20 in favour of South, 5 tries to 3.
31-20, South's in front. And we've played 24 minutes. Despite everything and setting it up, it's been like a good day to be down here. There's a carnival festival atmosphere here. People sitting just about anywhere around the edges of that.
Definitely, and it looks like we might get a grandstand finish here too. Let's hope we've got some technical difficulties, unfortunately, at the moment with some battery power. So we're hoping we're going to make it through the broadcast.
Maybe instead of just sitting on a chair when you get a yellow card, you should be made to press the pedal on the bike and keep and keep the power up to the camera.
Well, the rugby league players come off and do one of those exercise bikes, don't they, so that they don't get too cold.
Connect it up, good thinking, Charlie.
Connect it up the power and make it work. So Uni now doing it again. Keeping South's under some pressure here. They're really getting worked over in this last 10 minutes.
Well, the kicking from number 10 for Pirates, Honia Edwards Jr. has been absolutely superb. He has found touch again within about 20 metres of the South Darwin line. So another big chance for the Pirates.
Deja vu. This is where they set it up from last time, University. See what they can do from here. There's a line out. They're going to have the throw in down in front of the South supporters. Beautifully taken. Gee, they've worked that line out well. That's a great line out. What do you make of that one, Evan?
Yeah, look, uncontested there. Clean ball. They've gone to their back line. South need to score if they want to win this game.
He reckons that's gone back.
South don't score. Pirates are going to come over the top and win this game.
Oh, the referee's pulled a penalty out. It looks like it's going to be for South.
Yeah, it is. Initially the knock-on was back and then they knocked it forward. And so South get the relieving penalty. Deep in their territory, I might say.
And under a lot of pressure. Evan's feeling a little bit nervous. I can sense that, Ian. I can feel it.
Definitely. Now, this is a strange position for South because they're now going to have to decide whether or not they haven't had the ball for a while. Are they going to try and run from here or are they going to kick the field position? That's sort of something they now have to weigh up. Now that they're under pressure, do they want to retain possession or do they want to go?
Don't sit on the bench, Evan. What would you do? What would your advice be?
Look, I'd be going for territory here and I'd back my defence. We've certainly been defending really well, but it looks as though they're setting up for a run here.
They've gone to the scrum. Let's see what they can do. They've got players lined out, 4 of them, 5 of them. And they'll go right across and get it out to these backs who have just been scintillating today for South. They can split them just like that. Straight up through the middle they go. Leg speed. Have a look at this. Beautiful running. Players everywhere. What a terrific pass. A belly with the ball now. Running. He's going to go all the way. They're not going to get to him. Oh, that is a fantastic try. Belly goes in from one end of the ground to the other. Sensational play, South.
Well, yeah, they didn't look as though they were setting up for a kick there, but you know, my old head, I would have gone for a different option. That's probably why I'm here on the sideline at the moment.
So any chance you had of coaching might have just dissipated right then.
Oh, I've had that chance, Charlie. I coached this side many years ago. I've tried my hand at most things. I've gone back to the under-9s now. They seem to be a little bit easier to coordinate.
But it was Cacao, made the break, over to a belly, and away we go.
Wasn't it great rugby to watch there, and that break and then that hard running down here, and Uni were just caught out of position in the end, weren't they? Run straight through them.
So it's 36-20, kick to come, and we've got the big man. Is that our mate?
Ian again.
He hasn't done much. He's...
He set up a couple of tries in the first half, and he certainly takes it back a long way. As Ian said earlier on, he likes to give it a whack.
So I'm going to ask that question again. How long is 10 minutes? Why is Sekatagi still sitting there?
I'm not sure that he hasn't been replaced.
That certainly may have been what's happened.
We need to count the number of Pirate players out there.
Are we going to sit on the sin bin seat?
I'm not going to tell him to get off.
Oh, right. Thought you might.
And there we go.
Extra points?
That's 38. 38-20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tries to 3.
38-20, and we play 28 minutes of the second half. It's been a good rugby match.
I think Ian's spot on there. The Pirates are back to 15 on the field. I think, and so was South's player in the bin as well. You see?
Yeah, well, South's player
missed in action.
Missed in the bin. But I'm wondering if they send another Uni player off where he actually goes, because he can't sit on that seat, and he may not want to ask the man who's sitting there to get out of the seat.
He can have mine if he's a forward.
Entertaining. I hope you've enjoyed it. We've enjoyed being here. And glorious weather too for those people who don't know Darwin. We're sort of early stage of the dry season, and it just gets cool, you know, as the sun goes down. It's a beautiful night. Here's another run way over on that far side of the ground. Little kick through, and they're going to get back their Uni and clean it up. Might have been the wrong option. It's all right in retrospect, isn't it, to make that call, but Uni did the clean-up work.
I think in that instance there, once Setter got through, he was too fast for his support players to get to him, so he went to the chip, and then University was cleared to the sideline. So back with a bit of field position now for South. I think that last try might have just broken University.
So now we know the weakness of Setafano, Cacao.
Yes,
when he's at full ball, he can't chip kick.
And his teammate's not able to get in the position.
You wait for your teammate, Setter.
Learn to change gears back a couple. Uni now getting the penalty here late in this game. That's a good kick. So they've done a bit of this from, you know, their side of halfway, get that penalty kick and put it down the other end of the field and hope that they can build from there. So line out to come.
Yeah, I think Souths have really only had the ball once in about the last 20 minutes. They scored a try from it, and University still, away they go. A little bit like the Palmerston game, but University have put a few more points on it.
So is it possible you can win this game from here?
Oh, look, we're starting to get into 3 tries now in the next 10 minutes. So, not unless something drastically happens, but it certainly has happened before.
Well, they've got Uni South where they want them right at the moment. South are down a player. Running hard from the middle. And they capitalise on that extra play in. You're making the point how valuable that is to have the full complement of players and not be down one. That's a great pass there too for Uni. On the break here, the support came out wide, didn't get the ball out to him. Now, Ian, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, look, I agree, Charlie. They've got to get it out wide. They've got 2-on-1 out wide to the left-hand side. They're going to the right, trying up the middle. And I reckon that they've chosen the wrong side. Although there's a plethora of Pirates out there. Can you have a plethora of Pirates? Let's go with the collective now.
Well, we have a crew of Pirates. Or
crew of Pirates, and I reckon they might be over here.
Right over in the corner. That's a great effort. Gee, they went from one side of the ground. They went down the middle and then way over to that far side of the ground and into the corner. They went for another try. Evan's starting to get a little worried.
Yeah.
Now, look, it's fairly wide, and it'll be interesting to see if Butcher or Edwards takes the kick out there. I would suspect it might be Butcher. Whether Conair Edwards, they'll trust him out there, but it is 25-38 or 38-25 kick to come for Pirates. So Pirates, South still leading by 10 points, and we've just hit the 32-minute mark of the second half.
South, will they push the panic button round about now? Will they change the way they're going about business, Evan?
I don't think they're going to change the way they're doing anything, but they're starting to run out of leads by the looks of them. Look, it's only 2 converted tries now, 2 converted tries, and Uni will be in front.
This is a crucial kick as well.
And I can't see a South Darwin on the bench play, so his 10 minutes must be up.
No, he's gone back up to the other end there. He shifted the chair, so he's getting ready to go back on again. So there's the kick, and it's got the extra points. Wow, that's a good kick. That makes it interesting.
Robbie Butcher, as I suspected, from out wide, so that's 27-38, so still 11 points in 8 minutes. It's a lot of points, isn't it?
Well, a converted try, and they're well within a one try in the last gasp effort to win the game.
They're in striking distance at the moment. Gee, it's been a big comeback from Uni, let's remind you. 31-15 at the half-time. 38-27 now, just 11 points adrift, the Pirates.
You see South trying to get every breath they can, bringing it back very slowly. They look as though they're just about done. They're just going to have to hang on from here, and I reckon they probably need to score again to shake the Pirates up.
Dare I suggest they're daylight champions? The sun went down and they started to struggle a little bit. Here's the kick through from South and Uni on the take. They just look pretty confident, Uni, here. There's a kick from a loose ball back up to halfway, so South can build from here. A try is just going to break Uni, isn't it?
Yeah, try will break it, and look, there's a kick. You know, Seto now, he's been running all game, and then he's summed that up and he's gone for territory and got South deep into the 22.
So not that far out from the Uni line. South, that was a great kick. Landed in the field of play and then went at right angles and right over in front of the University supporters, went over the sideline. So the ball into the line out here for University.
They had the option there, Charlie, of the quick play the ball, the line out. So they're hoping that their line out and set play, and they've got it as the set play, but the knock on, and it's South, and they go get over, I reckon.
Right over in the corner, just a reach. That was taken.
Held up? No, held up.
Was it held up?
He's just going to confer with the touch judge there. He's going to award,
award the try. So it's 7 tries to 4, and it is 35-27. Kick to come. 45-27. Sorry. Kick to come. 43. My son.
I'll leave you for a minute and I'll come back and you
43-27. Kick to come South.
43-27. That's the heartbreaker, though, isn't it? For University, after being so brave for so long there, they handed over a try.
I think that should get South home. Now, that'll be 2 converted tries if they're out. They need to score more than 2 converted tries, more than 14 points. That'll be hard with only 5 or so minutes left.
He likes to extend himself, doesn't he? O'Kono, he's certainly well back. I guess it opens up the angle, doesn't it? Because he was out, the try was scored out wide.
So here's his kick. He's going to miss it well out to the right. So the light you can see there on your screen shows a little brighter than what it actually looks from where we're sitting, but the lights here look like silhouettes over in the distance in some corner. So the score here, 43-27, and we're at 34 minutes gone in this second half. So the game probably on the back of that incredible try there when the ball came out of the line out for South actually put an end to Uni's brave effort.
I think so. Uni have trudged back to halfway, but all in the referee's hands. Let's see what happens.
It's going to be a hard-fought win there, Ian, because South's so dominant in that first half and really had to answer a call here in the second half from a very strong and brave University side.
Yeah, well, look, I think that when you look at the sum, it's excuse me, it's about even in the second half. South's Pirates were 15 at half-time, they're now 27, so that's 12 points to 31, so 12 points apiece in the second half. So it's certainly been a much better second half for the Pirates as they are forced to defend grimly, which they do.
Of course, that last try from South coming just in a couple of minutes ago. Till that point, certainly University will win in the second half, won't they?
Yep, that's right. Yep.
So what's happened over here in the fast
It's blown full time, I think, Charlie.
Really?
Caught us all off guard. Might have called bad light. The umpires might have...
there was an appeal against the light.
They could see the shadows off all the players, so they called bad light.
Right, well, we thought it was longer than that. We were going off...
certainly they were 4 minutes early, but the referee has that prerogative. And so the final score, 43-27, and that equates to 7 tries to 4. South Darwin win the Premier's Cup 2017.
Evan, we'll leave you with your last comments on the game. What do you make of it?
Yeah, a little bit too close for my liking, Charlie, there towards the end. Both teams, just those little mistakes, probably almost cost both teams. But well done to South.
Good on you, Evan. Thanks for that. Ian Butterworth, thanks very much for being with us.
My pleasure, and thank you, Evan. It's been terrific.
Hope you've enjoyed our coverage of this game. It was the President's Cup Ladies' Day here at Warren Park in Darwin, round 10 in Northern Territory Rugby Union, and South led 31-15 at half-time. Had to answer the call late in the second half after a pretty brave effort from University to get close to them, but South went on in the end to win the game 43-27. Bye for now from Warren Park here in Darwin. Look at that beautiful shot.
On behalf of South Darwin Rugby Union, we'd like to thank all our sponsors for their continued support of our club.
South on 3, 1, 2, 3, go!